Last spring, I had the opportunity literally to take those stepping stones, walking in the ancient pathway of the Camino. Camino is the Spanish word for the way. It's the most famous footpath for pilgrims in the world, and each year thousands of pilgrims descend on Spain to walk this ancient pathway. Now, as you're walking along the Camino pathway, there are these arrows that point your way to Santiago, to the Basilica of St. James. Now, these arrows didn't just point the way, they also became symbols of the Camino. The arrows were the first of 5 symbols on the Camino that I want to tell you about. So the first of those 5 symbols are we have to look for the arrows in our life that are pointing us in the direction of our ultimate goal, which is heaven, and we have to follow where those arrows are leading. Now, the second of those 5 symbols is a first aid kit. It's impossible to go through the Camino without being filled with aches and pains and hurts, because you're being pushed to your physical limit. You do the whole Camino, 30 to 35 days, but even the 15 days that we were on pilgrimage was very taxing. Symbol number 2 in the pilgrimage is acknowledging there are going to be aches and pains. Do what you can do and leave the rest in God's hands. Symbol number 3 is the backpack. And what it reminds us is just how few things we actually need in life. Matter of fact, my brother-in-law, Pete, halfway through the trip decided that basically the only thing he needed to carry was an extra water bottle along the way. The rest of the stuff he could pick up along the way. Symbol number 3, what's in your backpack? Symbol number 4 are these trekking poles. All of us need to depend on one another. Sometimes it's easy to understand what other people are saying. Sometimes it's hard to understand. Sometimes it's easy to ask for help. Sometimes it's hard to ask for help. But these trekking poles become symbols of what we need to lean on to help us, especially when we get tired in the midst of the journey. Now, there's one other symbol, and that is the symbol of walking the Camino, and that's this shell. This is the universal symbol throughout Spain of being a pilgrim walking the Camino. It has in the center of it a red cross that is a distinct design that's known as the Cross of St. James. Part of what I love about the shell is that the spokes, it's like spokes are radiating out from the shell itself. And that's a reminder that nobody makes a pilgrimage just for your own personal renewal. You want to come back and you want to be a renewed person. You want to take what you've learned, what the Lord has taught you in the course of the pilgrimage, and carry that back to your family, carry that back to your friends, carry that back to those in need. 5 symbols of the Camino. As we walk, we have to follow those arrows. We have to look in our life as to where the Lord is pointing us and follow where He directs. We have to recognize that there are going to be times when we're going to be sick and we're going to need help and we're going to have to ask for some first aid because none of us can do it alone. We're going to have to depend on others. We're going to have to lean on others and to be able to maintain our balance in the midst of the trek. We're going to have to think about what it is that we're carrying and let go of any excess weight. And to recognize that this journey of life is not just about ourselves. It's about how can we reach out and help others in the journey. That was my Camino. Step by step by step, we draw closer to the Lord. Amen? Amen.